Yes. Yes. Feel the power. Feel the power like Lion-O or Lion-Or. Lion something or another. Oh, why is that not Lion? Here we are once again. It's been a long time. Been a really long time. How long has it been? 3 months, apparently, actually, now when I think about it. Now I know I was supposed to start in about 5 minutes, but I've just been sat here spinning around in my chair going, what on earth could I be doing that's not just sitting here spinning in my chair? And the answer, of course, is, I could be here online with you. Well, with me, because I'm the only one here, but still. I think all my sound levels are fine. Maybe my chat works, maybe it doesn't. It's been a long time. I think the Twitch is probably working. Maybe it's not. Let's take a gander. Am I here? Let's see. I am. I'm here. Look at that. Me. Oh, wow. I got 11 followers whilst I wasn't doing anything. Go me. Accept that little thing down at the bottom. Let's just test if this works. That worked. That's good. Okay, so my what's it called? You know, that thing. Oh, and it even works. It even popped up into the whatchamacallit. Wow, what a day. What a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. Should probably sit up properly. There we go. How have you all been? I presume you've all been wonderful. What I do need to do is go as much as I like, because I can do that. I'm allowed. I'm a big slime. Big slimes are allowed to go and So I've also been messing around with the mouth. So at the moment it's just based off of sound, because this model I don't think has the tracker for sound and mouth open. But whatever, it'll do. It's better than no mouth movement at all, which is what you normally used to get with the my previous setup. I just didn't know how to move my mouth. Now I think that at the moment, because I've just sat up, my head seems a bit. Looks like I'm looking down on you all. Look at you, minions! Why are you still alive? Go and scurry through my dungeon and feed on, I don't know, things, dead things, alive things. We need to make the overworlders pay for the terrible things that they do to us all the time. So yeah, that's what you should do. Saturday, what a day. I was going to go into V-Bridger and recalibrate. I need to stop sitting like a sack of potatoes. There we go. But I can't help it. I am like a sack of potatoes. I'm a human slime sack of potatoes. Yeah. So I thought that we do play some. Probably set up a game of the One Ring, and that'll be fun. And then also before we do that, some of the things that I've purchased and some stories of the last 3 months that I've kind of. First of all, I had COVID, and that sucked. You'd have thought a slime wouldn't get COVID, but apparently we do. So that happened, and that was a thing, and. You know, endless fun. Then what did we do? Then we were just depressed. First, because the reason why I originally started is I got a new client. So I got the new client, and that was not as good as I thought it was going to be. And then I got COVID, and that sucked. And then the client went even worse. And then I was depressed. And then I got a new client. And the new client's nice. I like my new client. My new client's great. They're wonderful. Really nice people, which is good. You know, it's always good to have nice clients. It's always good to be working with people that you like. And I am, so that's good. And so here I am. Ta-da! Another thing that happened is that Free League, who are a role-playing game company, did a 50% off thing, right, for games. So I goes on. Of course it goes on. And I purchased all of the Alien Foundry modules. So I now have all of the Alien Foundry modules to play with my chummers. Unfortunately, we only play games once a week, right? And I have about 9 million games, which means I have a lot of games that I'm never going to play. I suppose if I should probably tell people that I'm streaming, should I? Notifications to tell people who care. I guess I should. I guess I should put a link somewhere. Put it here? No. Put it here? No. Put it there. But then people will come in and they'll talk to me. That would be a nuisance. Especially if it's people that I know. I always feel that, you just let them do what they do. But of course, on the flip side, the systems seem to only work if you've got people, right? So it's kind of an exponential scale, right? If you've got like 2 people watching, then the likeliness of you getting a third increases by 50%, and if you've got 3 people, and the chance of you reaching 5 people increases again. And once you've got 5 people, cool, that's almost a quorum, and then you can go. That will keep on expanding as time goes on until you get once you've got 10 people, getting to 20 is far easier than getting from 1 to 10. Getting from 20 to 100 is far easier than getting from that initial boost, right? And then that's a ramble. That's a thing. What's on my wall? I think it's a moth. What else did we get? Oh, we got mice. That was depressing. Anyone who knows me knows that I find uninvited mice not for one. We didn't buy mice. Mice invited themselves into the house. So that was a thing. But also, anyway, right, yes, of course. So I bought all the Aliens modules, but then I also went, what other modules do I have? And they had a game called Coriolis, so I bought that. And they had something else, which I bought. Because the thing is that it was all half price, and by the time I got all the Alien stuff, you could then there was a limit that was like, if you reach this much of a spend, you get another 20% off. And I was like, well, I guess I can do that then. So I guess that's free money, right? Money on the table that I should get. So I bought more games to fill it up. But the one game I didn't buy was the One Ring. So I only just bought that. But because I sat there and thought, I want all of it. If I'm going to buy some of it, I may as well buy all of it. So I bought all of it. But then on the downside, there's no Foundry modules for it. So that was annoying. But hey, we are where we are, and we've got what we've got. On top of all that back and forth and mishmash and what you would call it, I bought a whole bunch of other games. Or a whole bunch of other games have appeared in my house, as is the way with games. So I thought maybe we'll have a look at some of those games before we got into like bumbling around in the One Ring. So here's some stuff. Let me go get it off of the I've got it over here. 1 second. Lots of games. Lots of them. These are just ones that I remember getting over the past few months that aren't bought off of TTRPG or Bundle of Holding, or because I use Bundle of Holding, not Humble Bundle, and the reason for that, of course, is Bundle of Holding doesn't plug into my thingy. What do you call it? What do you call it? Bundle of Holding. The other one, Humble Bundle, doesn't plug into my drive-through RPG, which means I always forget what I've purchased for games. Which, as you can imagine, is a nuisance because it's like old school essentials. I think I own 3 times in 3 different formats. Sorry, now I started talking, I've got awfully warm, so I'm going to take off my brand new Corona hoodie. So I had one, well now I have a new one, and the reason I have a new one is the old one was getting a bit, and also I'm very round, as you can tell, because I'm a blob, slime, and that meant I needed to get one that was looser, but also the first one I got was like really bad quality, right? It faded really quickly, and then the decals have kind of fallen apart for all intents and purposes. I only had it about 4 or 5 months. 1 second, let me take my headphones off. I can get this hoodie off. But yeah, I can't hear what I'm doing anymore. You can't. No. Oh. There we go. Let me throw that over there where it's not in the way. Whoosh. Ting. Whoosh ting. Cool. Right, let's look at some of these games. What we got? And this should take us there. There we go. Hello. That's upside down. So you got Pendragon. I like these books because these books have that kind of heavy paper, but well, not heavy, almost dense paper, because the book's actually lighter than it looks, right? Because it's made with kind of like, I don't know, when you were at school, I don't know if you had like that kind of felt paper, which is like thicker and quite nice. I like it. So, if you are not aware, Pendragon is a game about being a knight during the fantasy setting of King Arthur, and it's kind of a hereditary life path game. You kind of try to do as well as you can as one character and get babies to be the next character that follows on in your family line. So this is funny because originally this was supposed to be the player's book, because they've got another book coming out soon that is more rules. I've not really read it yet, but it's got some nice art. The book itself is cool. It's an interesting period in history. Also, one thing I really like, and this is like, that kind of fuck you to the neo-Nazis and the fash in the place. Female knights as player characters, and also what's really cool about this, right, is this, if you look at the like one of the stories from the actual thing, right? Her hearty words so deep as well. If you if we were to use this with not received pronunciation, right? That kind of her hearty words so deep into mind of the young damsel sunk that great desire of warlike armies in her forthwith they kind and generous stout courage did inspire that resolute unweeting to seer adjutant rouse knighthood on herself to don. So there's a whole bunch of kind of like examples of female knights that actually existed, or at least were written about at certain times throughout history. And so yeah, that's cool. So fuck those guys. And the more you learn about this period in history, the more you find out that actually, yes, this is kind of like, the roles that exist today, whilst in some areas were not quite what they were what they are in others, right? And you've got kind of like 4 different modes, and you can have different modes in different places. So you can have like a common, women at arms are common, trailblazers. There's a handful of well-known ladies, rare, and then variable is where you can have different roles for different locations. So yeah, what are some of the other things in here on this? But yeah, women at arms in history and genre. Arthurian women combatants appear first in the Welsh literature. The names of women at arms of King Arthur appear in the Welsh triads, which are early poetic devices for remembering legendary figures, called the Three Amazons of the island of Britain. They were Lewai. I don't actually know how to pronounce. I've got a book, another one that I picked up. I didn't want to pull it out because it's in it's awkward to get out from where I've put it, which talks about which is what's it called? Legends of Avalon, which is a kind of Welsh kind of Welsh setting, Welsh Celtic setting, fantasy RPG, which is pretty cool. But yeah, right. So Lewai, daughter of Setward Rorai, daughter of Uspa Maderi Bedlafwar, also known as Big Knee. The reconnoiters, minstrels, and later troubadours who spread the Arthurian stories replicated an idealized version of mainstream society, and thus fighting women and thus fighting women in an obscure side note, but some contemporaries with early Arthurian literature, cases of women combatants turn up throughout history, most notably Alans of the Sarmatians, who served in Britain as Roman mercenaries, undoubtedly many other instances of individual female combatants are unrecorded in history as well. As a result, the story of Avenable in continuations of a story of Merlin, where the maiden disguises herself as the knight Grisendal. The tale Silence about Dame Silence, who adopts a non-speaking role to protect her identity, and Yid et Olive, where an angel turns Yid into a man to save her and her wife's life. Interesting stuff. So yeah, so that's cool. I look forward to playing that in a million years, or maybe never playing it, or maybe playing it on my own. So there's that, and then I bought the main module for it. So Grey Knight. It's not very long. But this is kind of a Kickstarter. What we're all really waiting for is the King Arthur Legends, right? The Arthurian Legends. One thing I really wish I could do is turn off the viewer count, because I don't want to know. Every now and again someone pops up and it's like, no, books, reading, I couldn't possibly read a book. That's cool. So lots of really great art in these books. So I think props for that. I think props for being inclusive. I think, wow, what's that? I think props all around, right? So if you're into Arthurian mythos, and, I should probably take the tea bag out of my tea. Let's do that now. Otherwise, my tea will be too strong and unpleasant and bitter. Nobody wants bitter tea. Well, some people probably do. There's that whole matcha is bitter, right? So, but not for me. Thank you very much. Not for me at all. So this is created by American indigenous folk. And it is an alternate cyberpunk setting where a giant meteorite smashed into Earth, and Europeans didn't do what they did. No genociding from the Europeans of indigenous peoples. So that's good. One thing I particularly like about this book, other than the whole premise and it being something entirely different to what we're used to, and made by people who we're not used to seeing games from, so is nice big text, nice big font, easy to read, and an interesting setting. So, pick it up, give it a play, give it a see. I don't know as much about it because I've not really got to sit down and absorb, but from what I've seen of the authors and the creators, it's cool stuff, right? So get into it. I think it's cool, and it's a big old book, but as you saw from because the text is big, for elderly eyes like this slime's elderly eyes, it's pretty good. So yeah, give that a look. That's a good one. It's a weird shape though, but maybe that's an American shape. And then I got Colostel, which is a solo game, uses cards as your oracles. So this is cool. I like it. Again, fun art, I think. Kind of like you draw cards and then kind of scribe out the outcome based on those cards. Again, I've not had the chance to play it because, as I said before, I've been being miserable. And wishing every day that I didn't wake up. So that's that one. I think that'll be fun once I do get around to it. And this is an extension for it. Oh, you saw the big one there. This is an extension for Colostel. This is a Dungeons expansion. I know less about this, but this has got like loads of cool stuff for navigating dungeons. So that's fun. Again, cool art. Nice and readable text, which is good. A nice array of characters, and again, because this is a modern game, it's inviting to all people who want to play. And then I got this as well. It's a Cowboy Bebop game. Lots of stills. This is going all out on using a license, right? They've got the license. They've gone, we're going to use stills. All of the stills, because we have the license to use the stills. So we're going to use as many stills as we possibly can. Now, something that I really like about this is they've really kind of gone in on the theme, that kind of musical jazz theme. So lots of it, hits and shocks, riffs. It's and it's. I think again, I've not read this one properly. I've just kind of browsed through and gone, "Ooh, that's pretty. I like pretty things." I bought this again because I needed to bulk up a purchase at some point, and I thought, you know what, I'll pick up Cowboy Bebop. But it kind of reminds me of Fate because it's got all these clocks, and whenever I think clocks, I think Fate. And Fate derivatives, because clocks are cool. And this book's very cool. Or don't. Let Clocky clock. Faye. I'm always reminded of Man Fave. And if you remember, you remember. And if you don't, you don't. But yeah, so this is a story of space cowboys. And one important thing that it talks about here in the book is, whilst the game is ostensibly about bounty hunters, the bounty is not the real objective of the game, because the setting of Cowboy Bebop is so based on lessons learned through failure, right? Generally, they give up the bounty at the end and go without because they have grown as individuals. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. And one day, maybe in the distant future, I'll get around to actually reading it properly and playing it. But on surface level, it's wicked. So if you're looking for a specifically anime themed RPG, so like, this is a what would you call it? A brand based RPG. This is probably the best out there at the moment, particularly if you're looking for something that is focused on story, not on combat. Now I know there are other anime themed RPGs at the moment, like what was it? Tabular. The one that labels itself as like a TJRPG, but Tabular. Oh, someone's binged my door. 1 second. Well, someone just binged my door and brought me yet another book. So what we have here. So yeah, anyway, right. I would say, cool. Yeah, this is fun. Pick it up. Ultima Fabula, TJRPG, whatever it is, TTJRPG. That's under generic. I mean, I've got Big Eyes, Small Mouth, and of course I've got Bubblegum Crisis, which I don't even know if you can pick up anymore. You probably can't. I'm sure Artel Saurian is... Good old Pondsmith has long since lost that license. But, yeah, so cool. Also, pick it up. This is what just arrived. This is why my door ding-donged. 1 second. Let me get all these books off of my table now, because they're going to take up room, and then I'm going to get stressed, and then I'm going to have a meltdown. I mean, nobody's going to be having fun. No, I also got these. Oh, how exciting am I? Let's move these books. Move this book. Oh. Move these 2 books. Okay. And we can leave the mythic book on the table. Right, there we go. Book's clean. So these... Oh, this is how exciting my life is. I thought I'd get the world's oldest agile framework to find some principles I could steal. Because my life is like that. Woo! And yeah, I got this. I've not even looked at this one yet. This is so fresh off the press. Delivered just now. So I think I've probably mentioned it. Well, I probably didn't actually. A while ago I picked up... where is it? Pick that up, right, for solo wargaming. This is cool. I've not used it in a lot of anger yet. I got... I played a bit of Ringmail, which is an evolution and remake of Chainmail. So I played that a bit with this. But yeah, I picked this up kind of on a whim, kind of not on a whim. So this is supposed to be for setting up games, right? So we got what? The introduction to campaigns. This is the thing when I'm doing a presentation, and I'm like, I'm not going to read. If you want to read it, you can read it. So air power, sea power, making campaigns, digital campaigns. Where are we going? Yeah. So this is generic information on how you can set up and play games. Now, right. So I've got like all of the BattleTech stuff turning up at some point. And so what I'm thinking about doing, well, see, of course I'm being misleading here, right? Because I could just use Megamech, right? I probably would end up using Megamech because I'd have to set up like a brand new setup, right? To do. At some point, we're supposed to be getting some wargaming tables into the house, and then I'd have to set up a rig around that. I mean, I've got to redesign the rig that I've got because it's just a nightmare. I've got like 4 arms, and none of them are doing exactly what I want them to do. And this is not sufficient for what I want, and well, as you can guess, it's all nuisance, right? I presume these are the guys that I purchased this off of. Wow, look at that! Isn't that Oh, Barnsley. Huh. Where are you going? Retro. That's super retro. That's like the most retro thing I've seen in forever. So this is going to be fun, I hope. Set up some campaigns. Set up a BattleTech campaign and be like, woohoo, off we go. And something else that I was going to look for, but I didn't because I forgot, because I'm an idiot, is my MERP books. Because I've got the Arnor MERP campaign book, which is like that thick. It's massive. It's as thick as that Coyote and Crow game, but with really small text that I probably can't read anymore. So yeah, so this is for setting up games. I was kind of expecting more random tables, but wow, look at that guy. He looks like a kind of guy that plays games. So yeah, this will be fun. Yeah, clunk. But yeah, I like the idea of doing like a sci-fi military campaign. The one thing I keep on wanting to get into is for War Machine and Dungeons and Dragons OSR, right? Like BX's War Machine or Beckme's War Machine. The War Engine. Because that sounds like fun. On that, of course, one of the latest ridiculousnesses I've been doing is, give me a second. I'll go find that as well. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here we go. So something I've been doing recently, and I should probably do it, share some of it at least, is I've been doing a new dungeon, a new kind of crawl. You've missed a lot of people sliding into holes and disappearing into the darkness. So we've been in, I think, 3 times now, and I think we've lost 3 people, all to traps. And where are the actual characters? I've lost them. I've put them somewhere safe, is what I should say. I've put the characters somewhere safe. But where are they? Oh, maybe that's it. Oh, this isn't them at the moment, but this is them in the past. So Randra and Shreen. Randra, I think. Randra was a thief. The thief got sliced in half by a giant kind of swinging pendulum thing. And Shreen disappeared into a pit, never to be seen again. And another character vanished down a chute. So they've gone deeper into the dungeon and almost certainly been eaten. But maybe they haven't. We never know. Maybe we'll find them later. So I'm using like a mix of Forge and the cartographer pack, the campaign notebook, and I've been building some geomorphs of my own. So I've got a whole bunch of wee geomorphs in here that I can use as well. They're not great, but they do. So some of this map has been built using these geomorphs, and some of it has been built using my own. So yeah. Things are going on. None of the characters have managed to reach level 2 yet, but some of them are close. But yeah, exciting. I'm sure. Thrilled. Are you? You're thrilled? I'm thrilled. We're all thrilled together, and that's what I like to know. My tea's probably cold enough to drink, so I should probably start slurping down my tea. There we go. And of course, yeah, the audio comes from nowhere, particularly exciting. I'm just using epidemic sounds. Oh, right, wait a minute. Here's the current character sheet. There we go. That's for one. That's the party as it currently is. Naren was their replacement thief, and he died immediately. Whoosh! Disappeared down a hole. That's the one who disappeared down a chute. Vanished down a chute. Bad times. Bad times for our thieves. They've all died pretty quickly and pretty unpleasantly because they just don't detect them in their traps, and then they're not making their saving rolls. So it's like, you, my friends, you kind of served your purpose, haven't you? You've kind of, fallen down the trap, which means we're not going to fall down the trap. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Yeah. Now, anyway, so that's a prelude into is this going to open the right browser? Maybe I should go into studio mode for a second. Studio mode? Yeah, there we go. Like so. Okay. Yeah, that works. Yoink. There we go. Turn studio mode off. Woohoo! The right browser. So, here we go. And part of that story, because I said that I bought all the stuff off of Free League when it was half price. And then, of course, I bought all of the One Ring last night on a whim. And then I thought, well, as soon as I bought it all, I may as well use it. And if I'm going to use it, well, I may as well use it here, right? I may as well use it to like kickstart my engagement and my excitement once again. So here we are, re-kickstarting my attempts to not. Oh, hello, Zrator. How are you doing? my attempts to not do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is, you know, doing some solo role playing. Because yeah, I'm very bad at concentrating. So let's get out Drive Through RPG. Let's open some PDFs and let's start making some darn characters. So the One Ring has a supplement called Strider mode, which is, as you may guess, for solo setup for the game. Let me just set up my Adobe Acrobat so it doesn't destroy my eyes. Right, so that's good. Okay, so that's one, and we need the actual rule book, the core rule book. And we need to set up this some bits and pieces in this Foundry instance, because it's currently pretty unset up, because I only kind of installed all my modules like 5 minutes ago. Not 5 minutes ago, about an hour and a half ago now. Setting up the bits that I need to set up kind of like alone, you know, like API keys and all that kind of stuff. What would be, I don't know, one day I'll figure out like a really functioning way of sorting out where my chat should go versus everything else. But until then, this is what we got. It's like it'd be good in Streamlabs if there was a pop out for this doc, really. Is there? Right click? No. There probably is somewhere, but I just don't know where or how. Right, cool. So, I need a window for the PDF. Have I got a window for the PDF? I don't have a window for the PDF. That's a decision that I made at some point. So, let's add a new source. Oh, hold on. What are you capturing? Click that. What are you picking up? Your Tailspire. How about you do Acrobat? Specific window is not a game. Fine, shut up, stupid bean. How about if we go add, that's a folder, add a source. You'll also notice whilst we were on the other thingy that I was using my left hand, so expect slow, bad, poor, general sources. We need a window capture, yeah, and we want to capture Adobe, yes. I want to add the source. Hello, look, you can see the whole thing. Isn't that exciting? You probably don't need to, nor want to. So let's remember how this works. Is that it? That's it. Right, and then on this side, same again. And then up here, you don't really care about the titles of all the documents we've got. So probably, come on you, mouse. Behave, mouse. Probably that. Right. I wish they didn't do that. That's annoying. But hey, you know, that's life. So the One Ring, of course, is a Middle-earth RPG. I think they kind of missed a trick because I think they've kind of set it earlier than The Lord of the Rings, which is a decision. I think Merp probably did the right thing by setting itself after the events of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But hey, we are here. That tea was too bitter. But hey, we are where we are. And you all know who I am. Now, what I'm going to have to do is make a note of what 39. So around 39, I'm going to have to cut some stuff out because otherwise, 39 minutes. Not that it really matters. The most terrible things I ever do is go, we should put all the Tories into a bin and set fire to it. here. Can I copy the image and save it? Probably. It's probably what I want to do. If I fire up Paint a second. And I go Control Paste. And I go File, Save. Save that. File. Save as. PNG. Yeah, we'd like a good pung. And we should probably save it into where should we save it? Probably into my pictures folder. And let's make a new folder for the One Ring. And we'll go... Oh, what beep booped? Something just beep booped. Why did things beep boop? What's beep booping? Things beep booped. What was it? Oh no, I've been beep booped. Bring. Oh, I don't know. It's gone. Oh, something beep booped. That was very exciting. Thank you for the beep boop. Whoever beep booped me. Everything set up is bad on my side, so I'm sorry. If someone beep booped me, blah 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 blah. Ah, there we go. Words again. Words. Oh, was that? Yes. Thank you, Zerator, for something. I presume. I don't know. Maybe it was somebody else. What am I doing? And why am I doing it? Oh, I remember. I was saving this file. Sorry about the momentary lack of excitement as I try and understand what on earth is going on. What's this? For map. Let's just call it the map. Map. There we go. And it's going to Foundry. I don't know if you've ever used Foundry. You used Foundry? Foundry is like my go-to go-to main kind of TTRPG playing thingy, right? Map. Main map. And we will go to background image, and we'll go to worlds, worlds, and then we'll go to T, the letter T, to the T, and then we'll go create a new folder. Yeah, call that assets, and then go in, and then we'll make a new folder, and we'll call it maps. As you can imagine, I'm incredibly disorganized at the best of times, which is one of the reasons why I stream. Because otherwise, if I didn't stream, I'd just get lost in a well. And no, it wasn't Zerator, it was someone else. It was something else. Oh, well, we'll find out one day. And someone goes, why weren't you really excited by a thing that happened? And I'll be like, I don't know. It could just be my computer being mad. That's always possible. That's a thing. It happens. Root. Yeah, right, cool. Browse? Ooh. Oh, good. It doesn't show the browse window, so that's a bonus. Pictures. That's what I wanted. Go there, and then the One Ring. That's what we want, right? We want the One Ring. The One Ring. There we go. T comes after another set of letters. Open. Yeah, cool. Select file. Right. And then we want to go grid. We're going to need hexes, but I won't set up hexes yet because have you ever tried to set up hexes? It's it's a moment. Setting up them there hexes. Okay, cool. So, map. Hey, a map of Middle Earth. So I've got a really big source book on Arnor, but it's packed away somewhere. So this is going to be an adventuring zone. Oh, apparently there's all sorts of stuff that we're going to learn together on how to do this. All sorts of cool stuff. Right, now, that's a map, and that's play space. That now means that lots of these buttons work that didn't work before. Special effects, dungeon drawer, journal notes. Is it in journal notes? Calendar in here? Yeah. Can we please? Can we? That's notes. I've forgotten how. How do I get back to like a full? There we go. Right. If we go here and we go configure. That's what we want to do. Do they already have a quick setup? Do they already have Middle Earth? Because if they don't, I'm going to be sad. But they doesn't look like we do. That's a miss, isn't it? Greyhawk, Imperium. None of these are Middle Earth. Wow, that's really annoying. I'm going to have to set that up myself. Okay, right. So we'll ignore the calendar for now because it doesn't have a setting for Middle-earth, which is, I'm going to say, pretty weird. So sometimes I'm really annoyed by like the way Windows docks things now. Docks things now. But hey, it is what it is. Right. So what we have on here is along the top we've got the chat messages. Chat messages. Hooray! It does chat. Combat logs, not really important. The text is pretty big on my setting because I have the text increased because I'm going blind. Scenes. That's where we do all the fighting and stuff. Actors, which is the important stuff that we're going to start doing. So that's like characters and other elements within the game that we're going to need. So communities apparently is a thing in the One Ring that we're going to be doing. Journals. So we're probably going to set up some journals to have some decisions. Let's just create a journal now. We'll go solo adventure journal. There we go. We'll have some of that. So everything doesn't fit because I've got the text bigger and no one considers that anyone might increase the size of the text. But there we go. We'll have that. Shrink. Go over here. Thank you very much. And then rollable tables. So this is a really bare bones system in Foundry. So hopefully one day Free League will get their Foundry people to make some modules for Foundry, but they don't have them yet. So you've got to build almost everything from scratch. But yeah, I mean, compendiums, Mythic. This thing is a Game Master emulator, so it helps support solo play. Even if you don't have the Mythic rulebooks, I think having the Mythic GME installed is really, really useful. And also it has more settings than just Mythic. It's got, game unfolding, machine, and GMA. So those are both cool. And I think, look, there's a free version for GME, so you can use the GME and use that. That's an option we can have. So even if you don't use Mythic, but I think even if you don't have Mythic, the Mythic emulator is still kind of straightforward enough that you could use it for a lot of stuff. And so basically, it's like if you have a question that you would ask your GM, you can use Mythic GME to answer it. So you could be like, what kind of beastie am I looking at? And maybe we'd go, on a creature table, and we go on thingy, and we go, what do we got? We've got the animal actions. It bestows explorers. So maybe the monster gives the explorers something. It gives them a power. Creature, a verbal creature. So maybe that's a creature that has maybe like where you've got voices coming out of the walls, where like the walls' faces appear in the walls and it starts talking at you. That feels like maybe a verbal, a very talky-based creature, right? I've slept, I've had some visions, what I've had a vision about. I've been given instructions, possessions. I've been given instructions to find my stolen items, right? That could be what happens during the dream. So that's for Mythic GME. I use it a lot. I think it's cool, even when I am using their systems. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, so that's for GME. It's very useful, and it's a module in Foundry that you can install. Next, let's start making character. Let's start making a character. So if we go to and remind me if I forget to do something like, I don't know, unhide the PDF, which I've almost forgotten to do. Where is everything? Everything's hidden because my setup is so badly organized. Right, there we go. No, there we go. No, there we go. There we go. And you can't see the owner of the book's name at the bottom. So that's good. It's a start. If we go directly to and this game uses like a D6 and D12 system. So, from what I understand, again, I bought the book yesterday. What I understand is that you'll have like a skill of say 4. That means you roll 4 D6s plus a D12. If you have advantage, you roll 2d12. If you have disadvantage, you roll 2d12. Pick best, pick worst. Basically a 6 on the d6 is a special success that gives you like an extra point, and an 11 or 11 is like a bad on the d12, and a 12 is a good on the d12. I think that's what I understand. And they call the dice silly things. Although I think we might just call it a success dice and a fate dice. I think that's what they call it. So yeah, adventurers, that's what we want. We want to pick a class. So let's just go into the introduction. So you get 1 of 6 backgrounds. So 3 human backgrounds, hobbits, elves, dwarves. So bardings, who are like the northern, who are like Norse barbarians, basically. The men of Bree, who are really boring, and then the rangers, who are the Dwinadane, and they're like heroic by default. So I don't really think that this is the most exciting array of peoples that you could have picked from. But hey, we are where we are. So we choose one of these 3. So I mean, Rangers of the North are the most obvious. Elves suck. I hate elves. I don't hate them, but I think they're kind of boring as a group, right? Dwarves, hobbits, I think are fun. But really, if it wasn't for the books and what happens in the books, right? If you're like in universe, hobbits are just like, I ain't going nowhere. Leave me alone. I'm staying here in my hobbit hole where it's warm and I get like 6 dinners a day. Why would I go anywhere? You lunatics, I'm staying here. This is my place. So I find the idea of them being adventurers like as a standard just really weird. It's such a weird thing to have incorporated. I mean, it's obvious, of course, because, you know, everyone loves the hobbits because they're hobbits. Wow, hobbits. Hey, same with the dwarves, right? The dwarves are always in holes. They're always in the mines, right? And in caves and stuff, right? So it's kind of like, well, weird, this idea that they're out jollying about all the time. But because they're in the books, you're like, oh, well, we'll have them out. And the elves, yeah, I mean, where they do exist, they're bowling about. But yeah, I think it's a bit weird. So let's look at the other 3, right? Let's look at the three main dudes. So we're not interested in dwarves. So bardings, he was a descendant. Let me bring it to where I can bloody read it as opposed to it being all the way over there. Right, okay, right. So I can read it now. Yeah, he was a descendant in a long line of Girion, a lord of Dale, whose wife and child had escaped down the running river from ruin long ago. All right, from noble origins, hailing from wilderlands far off to the east, they rebuilt their city of Dale from its ashes, dragon smog, blah, 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 blah. So characteristics, we can roll. I think we'll roll, right? We're cool people who take life by the reins and stuff. There's also another group I've got in one of the books. Hold on. Peoples of Wilderland. Look at that. Trying to. Wildland, single page, thank you. Yeah, great. And we'll get rid of this side of it. There we go. So this has got the Beardings. This is going to be the problem, right? Tolkien loved a bit of the old literature, but I could barely read English at the best of times. And you throw in things like BEOR. What does that what is that sound? What is it? I don't know. Bornings, Bjorn indeed became a great chief afterwards in those regions and ruled a wide land between the mountains of the woods. Elves of Mirkwood. I mean, they're more interesting elves, right? They're like less boring elves. The Woodmen of the Wilderland. They might be more interesting. So what do they get? Woodgoer. The long fight of the woodmen against the hill of sorcery has led them to exploit every feature of their world to help them in their struggle. They know the woods so well that they can put a name on every shade of green found in a forest. Mentioning green, I got some color correcting glasses the other day. That was wild. It can put a name to every shade of green found in a forest and can trick the eyes of others and use many obstacles found in the woods. So they gain +2 to parry rating when fighting in a forest, standing of living frugal, and then attributes. What else have we got? Skills, yes. Combat proficiencies, axes or bows. Okay, well, I think that they sound cool. So let's do that then, right? Let's be a woodman of the Wilderland. Because we couldn't just call it wilderness. It has to be Wilderland. Let's be part of a Wilderland, everybody. Okay, Wilderland. So if we go to the rules, well, let's go back to here first. Let's hide that for a second. Go here. Actors. Yeah, create an actor. We don't want to make a community. We want to make a player character. Okay. And what have they got for names here of the woodman? Let's see if we're going to be male or female or something in between. Someone else. 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. 1 to 2 ladies, 5 to 6 boys, 3 and 4 MB. We're MB. So we'll take a female name. Shall we? Amelina. Create actor. Amelina. Cool. Right. Okay. Title, culture. Our culture is what are we called again? Woodman of the Wilderland. Woodman of the Wilderland. Right. Standard of living, frugal. Cultural blessing. So our cultural blessing is woodgoer. Now, something we need to check in Foundry is, do they have items set up for these? Do we think traits are? Maybe. If we go woodgoer. Control copy. Come here. Control paste. Yes, woodgoer. Trait group. Oh, hello. Flaw, distinctive feature. Oh, no, these aren't traits. Okay. Get rid of that. Delete. Yes. Create an item. What else have we got? Fell, ability, skills, miscellaneous, virtue. Oh, maybe it's a virtue. It's probably a virtue. Woodgoer. Create new item. Cultural virtues. Okay, I think that's probably what we're talking about here. Cultural blessing, cultural virtue. Sounds similar to me. So this is our... This. Gum you. Yes, there we go. Copy. Yeah, it's a power of copy and paste. I've done. Remember what was I doing the other day? I put in all. We're playing Dolmenwood in a campaign with my local role-playing group, and I've had to. There's no Foundry expansion for it, so I've had to add all of the spells for clerics to it, which has made me very sad. No, this bar doesn't look like it's working properly, so that's annoying. There we go. Save it. I could probably need to copy and paste this into effects then. Effects. Add an effect. Okay. What's the effect? Oh my word. Someone's used. Oh goodness. This is one of the creation things. This is too much effort for me to figure out, so we'll just pretend that didn't exist. Right. Cool. So we'll leave it at that, right? And we'll go woodgoer, and we'll go cultural blessing, woodgoer. And then I presume woodgoer has appeared somewhere on the page. It has. So we should be able to, I presume, click on this? No. Yeah, well, okay. We can see it on the sheet, so we know what it's doing. Okay, that's fine. I might need to turn off this fantasy, this theme, because I don't think it's working very well with this this system. So let's turn that off. Goodness sakes. I should really start using an empty profile for a lot of this stuff, but yeah, it's effort just setting everything up. Let's go here. Let's turn off the fancy. Oh, configure theme. I don't know. Right. Interesting that it works here properly, but it doesn't work properly on the character sheet. Let's just ignore it. I'll ignore it. This is why I don't get anywhere, because I keep on. This, for some reason, doesn't repeat on here, but it does. It does on all the other screens, which is a bit weird. Hey ho, this is where we are. I really wish I'd stop clicking on that. I also really wish that Streamlabs didn't pick it up when you clicked on the bar as well. That would be good. Whatever. Okay, right. I don't need this open. That should be closed. Right. So, Wilderlands. Wilder people of the Wilderlands. So, cultural blessing, attributes. So, we'll roll a d6 for our attributes. See which we get. Because that's how we like to live. We like to live dangerously. 6. Okay. So, that is 6, as we can see here on the thing. A roll of 6 gives us a strength of 2, a heart of 6, and a wits of 6. So we're not very strong. Not very strong at all. I hope that won't come back to bite us in the backside. So, strength 2. I presume we put it in this top box here, right? 2. And then 6. 6. And then 6. Right. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, right. So, right. Okay, I get it. Derived stats. Have you derived my stats? What stats am I supposed to be deriving? We're supposed to derive in endurance, hope, and parry. Okay. Endurance, hope, and parry. No, it's not automatically deriving them. That's annoying. So endurance is strength plus 22. So that's 2 plus 22. So that's 24. Load is, I presume, calculated. Hope is heart plus 8. So our heart is 6. So our heart is 14. And shadow is wits plus 10. So our wits are 6. So that means our shadow is 16. I guess that goes here. Right? Okay. Should be miserable. Okay. 10 plus 16. Oh, I'm going to need... Yeah, I do need... This grey is too difficult to see anything against. So, give me a second. I'm going to hit this. And I'm going to go to... settings? Modules. I have too many modules. Fantasy UI. Right. Unclick that. No. Leave them where we are. Save module settings. Yes. And then it'll restart. And this is what it normally looks like. So if you're interested in what Foundry looks like most of the time, this is what it looks like most of the time. I'm sure that if I faffed about with that view, I could sort it out. But I'm not going to. So this is where we are. This is where we are. This is the world in which we live. So this is saying, okay, right, so shadow scars temporary. That's weird. So if we go back to the book, so it says, oh, no, right, okay, shadow isn't derived. I'm an idiot. So shadow is 0. Right. Thank you, game. Shadow is 0. Parry is wits plus 10. Okay. Parry is wits plus 10. So that's 16. We're very parrying. We know how to parry, that's for sure. Skills. Okay, so as a woodman of the Wilderland, we get or 0. We get athletics 2. Where are skills? Where did them skills go? There we are. So or 0, athletics 2. No, why is that not going up? How am I supposed to make these change? Press Alt, click to add. 1, 2. Okay, right, cool. Awareness is free. 1, 2, 3. Okie doke. Hunting is free. 1, 2, 3. Song 1. Oh, we can sing a good little ditty for you all. Do a bit of the old singing. Craft 1. Okay. Enhearten 1. I am not enheartening. Travel 0, insight 0, healing 2. Courtesy 0, battle 1. Battle. Persuade 0, stealth 2. It's like the football results. Scan 0, explore 2. Riddle 1, law 0. You're not very wise of the way of the world. Anything else on here that I kind of obviously need to put down? So axes or bows to choose one additional combat proficiency at 1. So do we think we should pick axes or bows? Anyone around want to have a thought on that? Or am I all alone, staring into the darkness? I think I might be. I will roll a dice. Slash R1D6. I didn't pick which one should be which. But as axes come first, we'll say it's at. So 2, and we get 1 at another, so we'll give the 1 into bows. Distinctive features. Choose 2 distinctive features among those listed. Cunning, eager, faithful, patient, stern, swift, true-hearted, and wary. So what have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. And guess what we can roll? We could roll an 8-sided dice. So we are roll number 4. So we are 1, 2, 3, 4. Patient. So where did those go? Patient. Patient. Distinctive features. Okay. We need to come here again. No, not here. Here. And we can create an item. And we go patient. It's trait. It is a distinctive feature. I don't know if there's anything that I need to add to that, but so don't worry. Everything's fine. So patient, let's roll a d8 again for the next one. What's our next one? D8. Roll. 6. What is a 6? 6 is cunning, eager, faith. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Swift. Okay. So they are patient and swift. Items. Create item. Swift. Trait. Distinctive feature. Yes. So they are swift and patient. These, I presume, are good things. Languages and typical name. The Northmen inhabit the vales of the Anduin River, and the Greetngs and Woodmen speak the same language but favour different names. They are further apart. Their use of by-names and nicknames for woodmen do not show particular preference, but it's common practice among adventurers to keep their real names secret, preferring to let themselves be known by their nickname. Okay, right. How many nicknames have we got on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How about we roll... I don't know, we probably can just roll a D14. There'll just be no graphic for it. So if I go like RD14... Oh, wow, I did have a picture for a D14. There you go. 3 for pride. I don't want that one. Of all the runs, what I don't want, that's the one I don't want. 11, right, so probably best for me to go 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, that doesn't make any sense to a parry. So we'll go to the next one, or we'll go to the previous one. Oh. Well, we'll just pick one, because I don't like any ones we've rolled yet. Will be the quick. The quick. There you go. That's a name. Right, I think that's everything off of the freebies. So if we go back to if we open this up, and we go back to introduction. So we've recorded our cultural blessing, we've determined our attributes, we've calculated our strength, heart and wits, we've calculated our derived scores, endurance, hope and parry, we've recorded our skill and combat proficiency, we've chosen our distinctive features, and we've chosen a name and age. Oh, we've not chosen an age yet. That will come in a second. Players finalize their character creation process by moving on to page 44 and applying the steps described below. Choose a calling from among Captain, Champion, Messenger, Scholar, Treasure Hunter, and Warden. Spend previous experience points. Choose your starting gear. Record your Valor and Wisdom scores at 1. And choose your starting reward and virtue. Now, I also think this is where Strider comes in a bit, because Strider mode includes some adventure previous experience points, so you have 15 experience points to spend. Safe haven is important. Fellowship score, not so important because we don't have one. Fellowship score is equal to 3 plus any bonuses from virtues, cultural blessings, and patron. Fellowship focus, virtues. When selecting virtues, make sure that you don't pick one that has more focus on fellowship, because of course the main game is an awful lot around, we're a group, we're a fellowship on an adventure together, doing exciting things, whereas we're a lonely bum that lives in the woods. different life. So we don't really want to worry about that. And we have an additional distinctive feature, which is Strider. Okay, so we should add that to our list of thingies. Create item, trait, Strider. Strider? I can probably move all this to the left, so I can... As I was saying earlier, it's hard for me to move much more to the left. So Strider, wandering the bloopity bloopity bloop. You can see it there. It's on the screen. So basically, I think it just means that we get +2 to all our rolls, right? While journeying, the player hero is considered inspired on skill rolls, which I think inspired means that we get kind of 2 extra dice to all of our skill rolls. I think we can check that in the rules. So now if we go back to here, we need to go to page 44. We're on page 28. So page 44. 44. Callings. Okay. So this is where we get to pick between Captain, Champion, Messenger, Scholar, Treasure Hunter, and Warden. Each player should select a calling that best adheres to their character concept, keeping in mind the coupling each calling to the heroic culture. Combine a Hobbit Treasure Hunter has a very different reason for adventuring than a Hobbit Scholar. Yeah, fine, whatever. Should we do this randomly? Random. Let's give it a go on the old random table, should we? See if we like it. This is always, again, it's much like when I flip coins to see, what takeaway I'm going to have or what game I'm going to play. If I do the flip and I go, oh, I don't really want to play that one, I want to play the other one. Well, look, I've had a decision already. 6. 6 is Warden. Well, let's go have a look at what Warden is. What's the Warden? In this age of the world, when shadows grow deeper with every passing year, you have sworn to defend all who cannot defend themselves. Often your choice forces you to forsake civilized areas to better guard the inhabitants from what lurks right outside their fences. This has made you a stranger in the eyes of the common folk, a threatening figure who like those who you are protecting them from. Well, that sounds perfect. Okay, we'll take that. Thanks very much. Where does that go on the sheet? Let's hide this for now. There we go. I probably need to update some stuff in Twitch as well, because I think somehow I've got 12 people following me, and I didn't have 12 people following me before. Oh yeah, another thing that I've got installed on here is the ChatGPT plugin. So I'm not a big fan of the AI, but for stuff like solo playing, sometimes it can be handy. And also, Tolkien ain't hurting. He's fine. He's dead. He ain't worried about me stealing his stuff. So, it's all good as far as I'm concerned from that perspective. If it was some niche game, I'd be less did. Or if I was creating, I definitely wouldn't use it for creating product or nothing. But I just need sometimes a bit of a booster that Mythic can't do something for me. But normally Mythic does it all for me. I love Mythic. Mythic's great. Sorry, Fellowship Focus doesn't matter. Shadow Path. Calling. There we go. Calling is Warden. So that means, right, let's read this again. So, favored skill. Choose 2 skills among awareness, healing, and insight, and mark it as favored. Well, what have I got? So my awareness is 3, and my healing is 2, and my insight, I think, is 0. So I don't think it's going to be any of those, so I think we'll make awareness my skill. Or how do I do this? Alt-click. Okay, alt-click. Okay, so awareness is my magic skill, which is good, right? Because I think knowing of bad things come eat you in the forest is probably a great idea. I think that's a sure way to keep yourself alive. Okay, previous experience. Oh wait, is there anything else in here? Shadow Path. Oh right, so additional distinctive features. Shadow Law. You have recognized that there is a hidden thread unifying most of what is malicious, dark, and terrible in Middle Earth. And that thread is thickening year after year. A quality shared by the wise of the land, the truth behind knowledge. So this is one of the reasons why I think MERP was clever to set itself after the events of the Lord of the Rings, right? And set it in the Age of Man. Because then everything's new and you don't need to keep on tying it into Sauron and what goes on in the Lord of the Rings, right? Because this is kind of a problem of playing branded games sometimes, is that everyone knows what's going to happen. Like, everyone knows what the end point is, and therefore nothing you really do matters because you already know how the story ends, so to speak. Which is why I quite like setting, something like Middle Earth kind of after the events of the books, as have like the Age of Man. In something like The Expanse, you'd set it after the events of the film, of a TV series, and like if you were doing something set in any Star Wars, you're going to do it like. Well, the bonus with Star Wars is you could just ignore the central plot theme, right? You don't need to really. The universe is so big that there are so many different things that can happen that it matters what you do. But this is not the case with Lord of the Rings. Anyway, enough of that rambling. Okay, let's add that trait to the game. Create item, trait, distinctive item, Shadow Law. There you go, that's a name, eh? Melodramatic. Love a bit of melodrama, I suppose. Create item. So these do have descriptions that are probably important. So I'll probably have to go and find out what Swift, which I presume is not that you're an adherent to the ways of Taylor Swift. I presume that's not the case. I presume it's probably something far more likely flaws. Okay, right. Don't do that. Yeah, go away. Far more likely that we move quickly. So it doesn't have something on here for shadow paths, so I'll just make it as a trait again. Right. Path of Despair. There you go. That sounds melodramatic. We shall walk the path of despair together, my friends. One day, maybe we will arrive somewhere where our lives are valued. Right, shadow path. Path of Despair. Description. Let's take a copy of this. Put it in here. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. So, self-doubt is often... There we go. Self-doubt is often the way that the shadow chooses to reach the heart of those who oppose it. For they know that the enemy is strong and terrible, and that those they protect are too naive or weak to fend for themselves. Every day they ask themselves, will my strength be enough to prevail, or will I drag down the innocent in defeat? There you go. Right. Now, previous experience. I think that's everything there. Yeah. Okay. Previous experience. The ability levels of all newly player heroes can now be raised to represent experiences of their life prior to adventures. So we get 15 points to spend. So skill costs. It's a point per level that you're going to, right? So if you're going to level 3, it costs 3 points. Although it's not directly. So the going to level 1 costs 1. Going to level 2 costs 3. And an extra 2. Going from 2 to 3 costs 3, but going from 3 to 4 costs 5. That's an interesting decision. Combat proficiencies are an extra 2 points per like level times 2. So getting to 1 is 2 points, getting to 2 is 4 points, getting to 6 is 6 points. Okay. And we can just buy skills and combat proficiencies. Okay. So, what do we want? I think not having any insight is probably bad. And I think not having any travel is probably really bad. So, let's add 2 points of travel. So that costs us 3 points. And I think we need... If we go... Do we want 3 on axes? I think going to level 2 on bows is probably worth our time, because that costs us 4, so that's 7 points spent. Right. Or probably not. Hunting. Okay, we're good at hunting. Song, craft, enhearten, travel, insight, healing, courtesy, battle. We're a ruffian from the outside lands. We probably don't have much of a way of courtesy. So, but if we get, I don't know. I think having a bit of lore is probably not that one. Having a bit of lore is probably wise. So 8. Now, athletics. It could be worth going to 3 on athletics. That extra dice could go quite a long way. So 8. That will take us to 11. Song. Maybe we'll be good at singing. Song. That will take us to 13. And we've got 2 more points. So we can either spend 2 points to increase one of our ones, or... Do we like riddles? Riddles are big in thingy. Do we like battle? It's probably worth... let's get riddle. Go on. We can play around with that. Right. So that's 15 points of previous experience. Starting gear. All heroes start their adventure fully equipped with all personal items and gear they consider best suited to life on the road. In the game, such possessions are represented by an adventurer's war gear, traveling gear, and useful items. So war gear, adventuring is a demanding task, often requiring heroes to march for hours on end along mountain paths or traversing fast-flowing rivers. Wise heroes should fight the urge to choose the biggest weapon and the heaviest suits of armor, as a weighty and cumbersome burden is bound to seriously hamper their capabilities. Before the game starts, players choose the weapons and armor they want their characters to carry using the war gear list found overleaf. I presume they mean on the next page. They do. Okay. Well, we should share this. Everyone loves a bit of gear picking, right? I love a bit of gear picking. I'm sure you love a bit of gear picking. We all love gear picking. Right. So. Well, we think we've got an axe and we've got a bow, right? Probably a normal bow, because we're just hunting. Use it to hunt wildlife, and probably just a normal axe, because I don't think, well, will we have a long hefted axe? I mean, it is going to be, can be used one or two handed. I think that's probably what we've got is a long hefted axe. So right, if we go into and this would be if we had lots of create folder. Let's make a folder to put these traits in. Traits, patient, strider, swift, and let's create a folder for gear. And in here, let's add gear. So we want a new weapon. This is going to be a bow. Create new item. Right. Bow is bow damage free. Damage free. Injury damage free. Injury 14. 14. Load 2. Donk 2. Ranged and two-handed. And group is bows. Right. Cool. Close. So we've got a bow. Donk. Does it automatically calculate our load? Load. It does. Good. That's one benefit. We like it when something is auto-calculated because we are a big dum-dum and we don't know how numbers work. So that's that. We need the long-hafted axe. Oh, a long-hafted axe. Boopity boopity boop. Here, weapon. Long-hafted axe. So, the long-hafted axe does damage 6. Injury 18-1. Oh, that's kind of annoying. So this we kind of need to make 2, right? 18. We should probably change. Yeah. So we'll have long-hafted one-handed and long-hafted two-handed. Load 3. And it uses axe. Cool. Right. Now, let's close that. And then let's... although the problem now is, of course... is that if I added 2, then... Yeah, I know how to do this. Let's just copy this, right? Duplicate? There we go. If we go here and just go... kind of annoying that I can't... oh, yeah, I can. There we go. Two-handed. No load. Like so. So if we do this, it will do it. Of course, you can't see what I'm doing. So, because I'm an idiot. Idiots. So this, when using two-handed, does 20 damage and we'll give it 0 load, right? So if you drag them both in, you end up with what you expect, right? Yeah, and this one is two-handed. Right, cool. So if we drag that one and that one, yeah, and then we can alternate between them as required. So cool. That's it for weapons. Is it? Do we need a dagger? I think we should probably have a dagger as well, just in case. You can never go wrong with a dagger, and you can use it for like eating with and all sorts. So let's get a dagger. Ow, my foot hurt. I don't know why my foot just hurt, but it did. Dagger. So we'll take one of those daggers. Weapon. Create a new item. They are 2-14-0. So yeah, I mean, you may as well always take one because they don't cost anything. 2-14-0. Right. Any notes on it? Can trigger pierce as if it was a sword. Oh, that's cool. Let's take that down. There's a note. Can trigger pierce as if it was a sword. Cool. Let's grab that. Right. Armor. Now, I kind of presume that they'll be wearing leather, right? Leather corselet. I mean, they probably aren't wearing leather. It's probably something that's not leather, because leather armor wasn't really a thing, as we all know if we've spent enough time watching enough nonsense on YouTube. Because that's where we get all of our most insightful information from. So, male shirt, color, coat, leather. Leather corselet. Copy. Create item. Armor. Leather corselet. Create. So, protection is 2D Load is 6. Yeah. 2D, load is 6, and it's leather armor. Cool. Close. Shield? So buckler's the wee shield that you have in your arm. The other one is like a full-on shield. Do we imagine them with a full-on shield? I think we'll just have a buckler. So, add buckler. Bucklers are cool. What weapon? Armor. Create. Shield. +1. Load 2. So another thing that I enjoyed is the travel aspect of the games. So I'm kind of excited by that. Because I think the systems that they had in... Oh, have I not dragged these on? Oh. For some reason, I'm not putting them in the right place. So, buckler and leather corselet. Okay, cool. And these are definitely equipped. So, equip that one. The buckler's probably always equipped, right? It's just tied to your arm. Probably not, actually. You're probably only wearing it when you're going adventuring in the place. But you're probably wearing the leather armor all the time. So how much load have we got at the moment? Probably quite a lot. What's our load? What's our load looking like? Where did load go? Let's hide this a second. So you can see me randomly going back and forth like some kind of lunatic. Well, not like a lunatic at all. Like someone who just doesn't know what their thing is. Well, like a... like an American president. 13 out of 24. So, okay. So that's that gear. Traveling gear. A hero's traveling gear includes the belongings of the traveler, blah, 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 blah. Traveling gear does need to be annotated in detail on a character sheet only if the player wishes to do so and is not given a load item. Okay, useful items. Okay. If player hero is making a roll outside of combat using a skill, okay. Okay, so we broadly don't care about other gear. Do we? Useful items. If player... any tool, instrument, or device carried to perform one or more specific tasks is a useful item. Things like hammers, hunting knives, coil of good rope, lanterns, etc. and so on. These items that may gain player heroes an advantage in game terms, but also may have them do something they could not without them. For example, digging a hole in frozen ground without a pickaxe. Right, players are free to choose useful items, possibly inventing a reason in particular why the object is so handy. Options include craftsmanship, useful items listed on a player hero character sheet to determine if they gain a player hero advantage. All player heroes start the game with a number of useful items based on their standard of living. Oh, right. So as a frugal character, we only have one item, one useful item. What do we think it is? One useful item. What do we think our useful item might be? I don't know. Load. All right, here's some examples of useful items. A knife for skinning rabbits. A little box of salt to cook hunting. A coil of rope. I mean, I definitely think the coil of rope with a grappling hook is probably pretty useful. A windproof lantern. An exotic musical instrument. A balm to soothe pain. A suit of expensive clothing. A liquor to infuse strength. A sunstone to navigate in bad weather. A fine pipe to find comfort. Detailed set of maps. A set of instruments to carve stone. Well, as someone who comes from the olden times of gaming, I have a strong feel that I want a rope. If rope with a grappling hook is a rope with grappling hook. Create new item. Yeah, cool. Top of bananas. Hobbit ponies and full-size horses. The best asset for a traveling company is an appropriate number of ponies or horses. So, as frugal, the hero cannot afford a mount. Right, okay. So we can ignore that. Starting rewards and virtues. Right, I need for Lou, so give me a second. I'll be right back. We'll be back. Okay, right. So, let's open this up again. Starting rewards and virtue. There are many things that may betray the true nature of an adventurer. At the beginning of the game, the player heroes have yet to prove their worth and start with one in both characteristics. Yeah, okay. Among their various effects, virtue gives the player heroes access to the peculiar abilities of their folk. Right, okay. Rewards are upgrades that enhance a hero's war gear. At the start of the game, all players have one virtue and one reward. Select them from those listed on chapter 5. Okay. Alright, starting rewards. Close-fitting armor or helm, add 2 to the results of your protection roll. Cunning make, armor or helm, reduce the load rating by 2. Fell weapon, raise injury of it by 2. Grievous weapon, raise damage by 1. Keen weapon, attack rolls score a pierce below 9. Reinforced. Raise the shield's parry bonus by 1. Okay. Starting virtues. Confidence. Raise your hope by 2. Dour-handed. Add 1 damage to your weapon on a heavy blow and 1 to a feat die on a pierce. Hardness. Raise your endurance by 2. Mastery. Choose 2 skills and make them favored. Nimbleness. Raise your parry rating by 1. And prowess. Reduce an attribute by... Reduce 1 attribute target number by 1. Okay. And then if we go into Strider mode... virtues. When selecting virtues, read the description. Okay, right. Right, okay, so we don't have any more of those. We don't worry about fellowship focuses. Your safe home without a company by your side. The safe haven is a particularly important aspect. Okay. Right, so we don't get any more in this area. So we just do what it says in the book. So, what do we think we have? Close fitting helm. Cunning make. Let's have a quick look at. Let's have a quick look at load. So one thing I'm interested in is whether or not is how your load affects stuff, right? So let's go see if we can find characteristics, valor, adventuring phases, fellowship. I don't know if like 14 is a good load or a bad load. I don't know. Characteristics, valor, adventuring phases, journey. The map. There and back again. Or maybe we should control F and load. Carrying treasure. Player heroes stuff their pockets with coins and other valuables, or more wisely, they can burden their pack animals. In terms of every single point of treasure, individual, marvelous, or wondrous, a 1 point of load. Okay, fine. Find next. Yeah, well, page 49. Take me there. Traveling gear. Traveling gear needs to be annotated in detail and doesn't affect load. Okay, load. All right, here it is. Duh. Selecting the right amount of gear, heroes metal, in game terms, the hindrance carried items caused both in terms of weight and discomfort is represented by a load rating. An adventurer can carry a total load up to the character's maximum endurance. Okay, right. Since the endurance score determines when a hero starts getting tired, it is generally much wiser to keep that total much lower than the maximum allowed. All right. Load is monitored only as far as war gear and treasure is concerned. All heroes are considered to be carried without discomfort a reasonable amount of personal items. Yeah. Pack animals. Player keep track of a hero load on the character sheets and must update it. Right, okay, so your endurance goes down as play goes on, which means you could reach a point where you can't make your load. I think 13 is probably okay. I think 13 feels like an okay number. I think it does. I think that's a good number. I think 13 is a good number. Good number 13. We like your number 13. Okay, cool. So that's fine. So I don't think we need to worry about reducing the load of our stuff. So the question then is, do we want page 79? Let's go to page 79. Page 79. What have we got on page 7? Reward list, right. So we've got keen weapons. So these are all the things. All right, okay. This is all they've got. Okay. Reinforced shield, keen weapons, cunning make. Well, I thought there might be more on here than this. Should we give it... Keen weapon. Attack rolls made of keen weapons score piercing blows on a result of 9 on the feat dice. Reinforced. Let's go for a fell weapon. Or maybe... No, let's go for close fitting armor, which gives us +2, right? So we can go here and go +2. No, that doesn't like it. Doesn't like that. How do I add +2 to it? You add 2 to the result. Okay, I guess we just need to. As in the old days, we will call it a leather corselet. +2. I think there's a letter in there that I just deleted by accident. Leather corselet +2, so we can remember to add 2 to our protection whenever we need to. That's good. So that's our reward. And what's the other thing we do? Adventurers. Experience. Oh wait, that's not what we wanted. Here. Donk, 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 donk. Virtues. Confidence. Raise hope by 2. Dour-handed, add damage by 1. Hardiness. Raise your endurance by 2. Mastery. Mastery sounds useful. Nimbleness. Raise your parry by 1. Prowess. Reducing attributes target number by 1. Should we do like mastery and then have another 2 skills? I think that would probably be a good idea. So if we take mastery, and I guess we'll have athletics and hunting. Because I don't think that we can have combat skills as thingamajigged. Okay, cool. So we'll have those as favoured, and our virtue, create item, traits, virtue, mastery. Don't know if this was a good choice or a bad choice, but it's the choice we've made. Starting virtue. Oh, yeah, okay. Starting virtue was mastery. Choose 2 skills and make them favoured. Boom. Come back here. Right. Description. Do. Save. Where did I go? Mastery. Right. The company. Well, I don't have a company. The patron. Needs to be dealt with before. The safe haven. The safe haven of the company is a location that works as the starting base of operation for the group. And as refuge to repair for the fellowship phase. Usually it's a place where player heroes gathered for the first time. In Eriador, an ideal choice for a starting safe haven is certainly the village of Bree, as it stands at the crossroads of the East Road and North Road, and everyone who journeys across the land stops at the Prancing Pony because it's in the book and no one can have an original thought. But Prancing Pony for a pipe to smoke and comfort. Chapter 9 for more information about Bree and its inn. In the course of the exploration of Eridor, the company will find new places suitable to be used as safe havens, widening their options. For example, the company might eventually add the city of Farbad or Rivendell, and Rivendell as possible safe havens. The inn at Bree was a meeting place for the idle, talkative, and inquisitive among the inhabitants, large and small, of the 4 villages, and a resort of rangers and other wanderers. And for such travellers, mostly dwarves, as still journeyed on the east road to and from the mountains. Long have I wandered by roads forgotten, telling the story of how a player hero reached the location no one cares. This is something that I don't get into it, but I understand players love writing backstories, but I'm like, my guys, my dudes, my friends, my chummers, let's be legit here. The adventure that your characters are about to embark on is supposed to be the most exciting thing that they've ever done, not what they did before. Right? And so, in a way, the effort that players put into backstory should really be put into ongoing story, right? Because the stuff that happens now is supposed to be the exciting stuff. Need to find an image for the character. But we're up on 4 o'clock, so we've been going for about 2 hours, and feels like a good point because the character's finished, right? So this is the character. Let's have a quick look. Amelina, the quick. What we do need to find actually is what we don't have is in here we have Swift and Patient, and we don't know what they do. So let's go find out. Swift. Next. Ah, shit. No, that was it. Swift. You move swiftly and are quick to take action. Wow, that's amazing. Thanks. I didn't know. Okay, so we are swift. Fine. Let's put that in. And then what was our other one? Patient. Is just going to be saying that I'm patient. You are slow to lose your temper and can suffer fools, delays, or even hardship without complaint. We're patient. Good to know. Good to know. I've got a game later on tonight, and I'm wondering as to whether I'm reffing or whether the other ref is reffing. We'll find out at some point in the distant future, no doubt. Cool. That's a character. It's straightforward. I reckon if you're knocking them together on your own, you could probably knock that out in like no time at all. Have I got a good avatar laying around on my computer? Modify. Use image from Foundry server. Have we got probably not in here. Maybe actually. Who knows? Let's have a look. Wow, that's an image. Hey. Wow, I wonder what these are for. Bard Retainer. Oh, these are all mostly for a Dungeons and Dragons OSR solo thing I was doing. Most of these characters are long since dead. Oh look, those are the Cyber Generation characters. We should play that again soon. Oh, this guy. Oh man, I tell you, this I've never. The first time I refed a campaign for Randos, I played. It was supposed to be an OSR campaign, and this guy, he rocks up. He's wearing a nappy on his head. Right, it's first he's got a nappy on his head. That's what it looked like, and he was playing this guy, and I was just like, it was like the worst. It was just, Suffice to say, that was probably around about the point where I went, do you know what I'm not going to do again? What's that? Play with randos, my guy. It's just not the one. Just not for one, because playing with randos is just, it's just pain, Pecco, pain. That works. I reckon that works. That's good enough. Oh dear. That's something we could probably set up. But we need to do a bunch of things, right? So wait a minute. If we're doing Bree as our starting location, there it is. Yoink. Yoink. There we go. Bree. And we go to World Explorer. You ever used World Explorer? World Explorer. So what we really need to do, okay, this is we're gonna get into like a world of hurt now. Oh, okay, here we go. Right, so World Explorer is really cool. But we need to set some things up first. One of which is gonna drive us absolutely insane, and that configure is we need to get the hexes. I think these are rows, right? These are like hex rows. Right. Okay. Oh, it looks like it's almost good, doesn't it? It's nowhere near good. This is nowhere near what we want. So, whoo. Are we ready to go? You ready to go? I'm ready to go. But these are correct-ish. So, so they're definitely too big for a start, right? So we need to alt wheel down a bit. Right. Okay, that's closer. Right, okay, that's start. Now a question, are we better off with even? Yeah, we look better off with even, so that's good. Right, next. Oh, this is gonna drive us mad. Possibly 80? Do we think 80 might be it? Right. So now shift and use the arrow keys to see if we can get the bugger into. Use the arrow keys to shift the image. So let's do. Almost feel like I'm equally in a bad position no matter what here. So, okay, right. Whoo. Now then. This clearly needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay, let's try that. Is that right? Right. Okay, that's still nowhere near where we need to be. Oh, let's make it another too big. And it might just end up being impossible to match these buggers up. Let's see. Oh, no, that's still not good enough. I think maybe if we go up by another one. So we're just trying to match up these hexes to this here image. No, that's not enough. A little bit bigger. Let's see. All right. But the problem is that sometimes, because you can't do the thickness of the grid itself, which can mean if the people who've made the grid are awful people, it can end up being impossible to match them up. At which point, you just sit in a corner and cry because you've just wasted all of your time and effort trying to get... Oh, that's... See, it looked good there, but maybe just one more. Maybe if we go up to 88, let's go to 88. No, 88. And let's click off of here. And let's line one of you up. Let's go this way because we've got a very big negative number now. Right. Okay. Does that work? That I think is possibly as good as we're gonna get. I think that's probably it. I think we're pretty far off by the time we get to that right hand side. That's it's probably not the one. But maybe if we go shift up, right? Maybe. Now, maybe that gets us a bit closer. I feel like these hexes are slightly off. Actually, let's see that. Oh! Wait! Look at that! That's almost perfect. It's almost perfect. Maybe just one more up, and then if we just realign you a little bit, that's good. That side, it's good enough. That side, it's good enough down at the bottom, and it's good enough at the top. That there, save. Right? Yeah, fine. Shut up and save. Close. Right. That is about as good as we're gonna get, I think. Now, what might be good? I don't know if I can do this. Can we configure? Can we actually make the grid opacity? Can we make the grid in and of itself disappear? So we can't see the grid, but... okay. Right. Now what we can do is go to main map again, and we go to configure. Oh, we go to configure and we select World Explorer. And we enable the World Explorer to work on this. Cover the map and non-overhead tiles. Token reveal distance, I think 2. I think it's probably good. Grid tile extended reveal. Grid. How much does it also 5? No. How big is this blasted map? What's the scale on it? I don't know. Let's have a look. Scale's important, people. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay. Zoom. Journey path, march and test, end journey. You've not... No. I believe that scale is important, but whether or not the people that made this map believe that the scale is important is an entirely different matter. Stop that. Ow. The face is itching. Goodness gracious. Alright, pan. Let's do this. Key at the bottom? No scale at the bottom. Scale at the top? No scale at the top. Wow. I hate whoever made this map. Okay. We don't have the scale on the map, which is a little bit annoying. Is the scale in the book? The guide on company makes a marching test roll in travel. well, we'll have to figure out how big the map is. I could probably figure it out from like a map of Arnor or something, but it's definitely not 5 feet. So for now, we'll say 5 miles per hex, right? Okay, that's how far we can currently see. So if we went to for world, if we clicked on their character and clicked off of this, clicked on their character, they currently see that much. Okay. Another thing that we need to do, because here map configure lighting. Global illumination save. We'll have to fiddle around with that. It's like game. Why you do this? Why? This is something that I've always kind of found like deeply annoying about Foundry's implementation of light is that it goes, well, if there's global illumination, then your character can see everything, which makes a kind of sense, but doesn't make all the sense in all the situations that they assume it does. For example, a wilderness map. There is a way to make it work though, but I can't remember it. World Explorer. Because here it's just gone, all right, you can see everything. And you're like, well, no, you can't. You can't. That's not how this works. We're going to have to figure that one out. Hide tiles. Yeah, hide tiles. Because all the tiles should be hidden, but unfortunately, because the way that it deals with light is stupid. It gives us problems, right? Anyway, I'll figure it out at some point. Cool. But anyway, we've got a grid for matches for grid. We've got a figure that can move. And yeah, right. If I go here and I select them, yeah, so that's going to be kind of irritating. They really should only see the map that they've explored, but oh well, we'll figure that out at some point. The alternative is that you then use the darkness to cover stuff up, but it's like, well, there's no point in that. That's not what I wanted. I want to hide all. Are you sure you want to reset it? Yes. Oh, God. AOPK. Hide all. Right. Do it. What? There's no community in this world. Some features won't work properly. Hide all. Yeah, I mean, it's just not working because the game's global illumination doesn't work properly, really. It should, if I put a real distance on an icon, that should be the distance that's revealed, even if it's global illumination. Because the character can't see 3,000 miles, no matter how good their eyesight is. Anyway, we'll sort that out in the future. So for now, it's been a pleasure. It's good to be back in the driving seat. And I am going to go and figure out, well, I'm going to go order some sweets, is what I'm mostly going to do. And then I might come back and do some stuff. Or I might not. Who knows? I like to keep people guessing. I can. One last thing. I can probably go here and go user configuration. And I can go here. And I can go save. Hey! Now we've got our wee thingy as well. Go us. How exciting. Right. You have a great day. Maybe see you later. Probably see you tomorrow. I'm going to go away and figure out this stupid World Explorer thing. So, it's been cool. Bye-bye.